whatever the most recent film is, that's pretty much the best one. I mean, outside of the Marvel Studios films, probably the X-Men movies are the ones that I would like the most. I like First Class. So.
Sir?
I'd like to introduce my wife, my present wife. She had her own radio program in Ezra Park, New Jersey, and had the privilege of 15 minutes of fame interviewing Bruce Springsteen before he actually became famous when he played at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. They came to her. She had a radio program. They came to a community center, and the kids wanted to put on the dance. And they had $200, and they needed $200 more to pay for this band. My wife said, well, why don't you hire the $200 band? They said, well, the $400 band will bring them in from Freehold, Red Bank, surrounding towns. So she finally got a loan from the board to give the kids $200, and that band was Bruce Springsteen. And I was a chaperone at the dance and opened the closet doors, kids smoking, hey kids up, you know, it was one of those things. And his music was loud, meant nothing to me. I was going to tell him to keep it down, but I wasn't home. So the fact remains that she goes and she has to interview somebody else the following week, and she erases his tape. I didn't let her back in the house for 2 months. No, not really. We never knew. And I'll just end it how we knew he arrived. We were in Blackpool, England, riding the public transportation. Young kid comes over to collect the money. He says, where are you from? He said, US. He says, where? We said, Asbury Park. He says, oh, Bruce Springsteen. And we knew because he just put out a first album, Asbury Park. But, you know, she's very modest, my wife. Not for her, I couldn't do it. She's with me at every convention. I've done about, God willing, at the end of this year, I would have done about 13, 14 conventions, and I'm looking forward, God willing, to 11 next year. And I love it. You guys make me gleam and energize, and it's not the money anymore. You know, you buy toys like iMac and iPhones and all that, but not for you guys. I think the board here will agree with me. You are the guys that make us, or motivate us guys to go ahead and keep working.
And Ron, what is your favorite Marvel movie?
If I had to pick one, yeah. Do you have a favorite Marvel?
You have a favorite Marvel movie?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse meets Captain America. We were invited to the first Avenger in California, and I got to tell this little story. I don't know how to perform it. Don't tell me what to do. No, we were in an El Capitan theater, a replica of the old 30s theater. I'm sitting in the first row behind the regular front audience, and there was a little elevator, and a gentleman comes over to me, and I was well dressed there, and he says, I'm Chris Evans' grandfather, you know, the guy that plays Captain America. He says, you look important. They caught me off guard. I said, that's because I am important. And that's not me. That's not me, because I would rather have spoken to the gentleman. So I was in San Diego, and who was to appear was Chris Evans and Samuel Jackson, Mark Ruffalo, Nancy Olsen, Jeremy, or whatever his last name. But Raymond, yeah. Anyway, I get on stage. They actually me the first one on stage, and I have a shield on my fingernail that my wife's manicurist. And they had an audience like you are, all the way down maybe 2 blocks. And I get on stage and they know me. How, I don't know, but the internet is a great place. So all I want to do is show them the knee. I raise my hand. And the young kids from Marvel have a convulsion there. They are screaming and cheering me. I don't give no one a free. God forbid you can get killed. So I get on stage with these young kids who are passing out. Oh, you know, they have no. These are young kids they've put in charge of a comic book. They're doing good, obviously, but they don't have a heart of a showman. You know, I didn't mean it.
Get your camera ready, Constantine.
Well,
show us the shield, sir.
Well, it's a little more. Well, Samuel Jackson says, let me see. He said, let me see that thing. He takes out his phone, his telephone camera. How do you handle this thing here? I put my finger in. Oh, this guy. I'm a nice guy. Those little guys in Marvel love me. They have no, you know, no feeling of showmanship in them. What am I going to say? So, but please forgive me. I just.
We want that under headline. What does Alan Bellman think of the face?
Now, Alan, I don't expect you to answer the questions that are actually asked. Because you're too cool, and you can answer whatever questions you want to, whether they're asked or not. But now I'm dying to know, what is your favorite Marvel movie?
The first Avenger. When I finally met Chris Evans, I said, Chris, like I knew him. And I explained the situation, and I said, please extend my apologies to your grandfather. I would rather have spoken to him. I was caught off guard. He went to my Facebook. No, I'm not giving you a fix. I can't make that raise my hand anymore. Chris Evans went to my Facebook. This Jeremy here went to my Facebook, and Nancy Olsen, who plays in there, and I was quite honored. They said, who the hell is this guy? Because I said to them as I passed them, I said, not for us guys, old guys, you wouldn't be here now. And those little guys at Marvel, I don't know, I think they're turning over now.
Captain America and the Avengers. First Avengers.
All right, let's have it. Okay, back there in what is probably a Green Lantern shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong room. But we'll still take your question.
I zipped it up. It's kind of like a most of Gerry. When you killed Glenn, did you ever expect that?
Murderer.
Would you ever believe that she was going to come back and be Spider-Man or be Spider-Woman? And does knowing that there's endless, universes, there's all these multiverses, does that make it easier or harder to write? Knowing that somebody else can come along and be like, oh, that was a different universe. It never happened.
You're referring to the Spider-Verse concept, or
Well,
the
just
multiverse?
I guess for all of you.
Yeah.
Does it make it hard knowing that there's millions of universes and anything you write could be...
Well, I mean, anything you write can be changed, by subsequent writers. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, certainly, when I took over for Stan, I felt a certain responsibility to follow what he had set up, but at the same time, I wanted to invent my own takes on things. But the beauty of the multiverse and the idea of alternate realities is that you can explore these otherwise impossible stories that you wouldn't be able to tell. DC used to do that with the Superman imaginary stories, where this is an imaginary story, it didn't happen, might have happened. The beauty of the multiverse is that we can say it actually did happen, it just didn't happen here. So we get to have our cake and eat it too. With regard to the Spidey, Gwen Stacy, we didn't want to bring her back the first time, so having her come back multiple different times is kind of, just more fun for the readers and for us.